Another update in here. Blade. When they announced Blade over 4 years ago, I was ecstatic. This was like my most anticipated upcoming MCU project because I love the original Blade. I love the MCU. Let's merge these two things together and do something awesome. And it's a type of character that can kind of bring in some horror, maybe a little bit more mature, more kind of visceral, ground level. Awesome. Let's do it. 4 years later, 4.5 years later, we still don't have a script. And the article talks about this, that the project has gone through at least 5 writers, 2 directors, and then a shutdown of production just 6 weeks before they were going to go, shut down 6 weeks before they were going to go into production because of the strikes. And then coming out of that, they went, we don't want the script. We're going to bring another guy in. So then they brought in a new writer on a project that's already had 5 writers. Here's the craziest part. It says this: one person familiar with the script permutations says the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women filled with life lessons.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
What? What? This feels like the caricature of what a bunch of people think the MCU has turned into. But it's not a caricature. Blade. The reason they greenlit it because an Oscar winner showed up and went, hey, I got an Oscar. I want to star in your vampire martial arts comic book movie. And they went, great. It's a narrative led by these women with a lot of life lessons. It's the caricature. All of those troll channels that are trying to get rage clicks, like that people go after. They're right. They're right. Like, what are you doing, Marvel? Blade was relegated to the 4th lead of his own movie. A bizarre idea considering the studio had 2-time Oscar winner Ali on board. What are you doing? How is this a thing? Like, Blade, this should be a very, very easy one to get right. Like, the nature, like, you have to figure out how does it fit in the MCU and that mythology. You don't have it need it to be this gigantic story. You can tell like a ground level, thrilling, exciting thing because it's in the MCU. 4 years, 5 writers, nothing. They don't have a working script yet. They're still trying to figure out what they want it to be. And like one script, it was supposedly only like 90 pages on and only had 2 action sequences. This person's saying like, we're doing life lessons. What everybody wants from a Blade movie. Like, how do you hire someone? How do you in any way hire someone to do a Blade movie when their pitch is, we'll take Blade and we'll seat him back there. And then we'll have these ladies teaching life lessons. How do you do that? Why would you ever hire that person if that's what they were like, their interest level? No, of course that's not what Blade is going to be. So, continues, amid reports that Ali was ready to exit over script issues. I wonder why. I wonder why 2-time Oscar winner that went to the MCU like, I would like to do Blade. I wonder why he was thinking about walking away from the project that can't figure out the script and wants to put him as 4th lead and teach life lessons. Why on earth is he thinking about leaving? What could it be? Feige went back to the drawing board and hired Michael Green, the Oscar-nominated writer of Logan, to start anew. So, we've got some good news. This project that I did like astoundingly mismanaged up to this point in time. Good news. One of the writers of Logan has been brought in to write our script. Okay. You have my attention. That sounds good. I can't say that you have removed my fear because the same producers that hired the morons that wrote the earlier drafts hired this guy too. So I don't trust you. Also, Michael Green, he's attached to several movies I really enjoy. Blade 2049, Logan, of course. Those are really good matchups for Blade. I'm digging it. But you can look at his other credits, and there's some not so great credits in there. Likewise, his credits where it's just him, not fantastic. They're not fantastic. So I don't immediately, like, he's not the, when I think the reason that Logan was great, I don't immediately go, Michael Green, he did it. No, I go, James Mangold did it. When I think Blade Runner 2049, I don't go, Michael Green cracked the code. No, I think Denis Villeneuve cracked the code. So it's absolutely a step in the right direction. Not exactly, it's not the same thing as the guy that single-handedly wrote the script for a fantastic movie. It's not that. It is a step in the right direction. Much better name than previous versions. If he was the first guy they hired back in 2019, different story, but we have a troubled production, so I have a lot of skepticism going into it. Closes out with my favorite news about this whole deal. Speculation around town is that the studio is looking to make the film, now slated for 2025 on a budget of less than $100 million, a deviation from Marvel's big spending strategy. I read that in the article as the article thinks of that as a negative. I read that and I think, yes, finally, this is what I want. Blade should not be a $200 million film. And I don't know if it would be particularly viable profitability-wise at that price point, besides the Marvel brand, which isn't very strong anymore, as we already talked about. But, and likewise, it doesn't serve the movie. What I love about Blade can be done for a lot less than $200 million. So I think under $100 million, I go, yes, that's the movie I want, a movie made at that budget, especially if you get the right director. I mean, they have someone attached, but like Sam Hargrave is making these very visceral, cool action films for $75 million with Chris Hemsworth, a big movie star, attached to them. So you can do grounded, visceral action with a big movie star for $75 million. Let's do that with Blade. So I like that. I want more movies like that. And I think Shang-Chi would have been better at $100 million. I don't need all the green screen, VFX, drag. That's not the stuff that I remember. I remember the bus when it was practical. That's the best stuff in that movie. So a lot of bad about Blade with the past. It does feel like they're acknowledging the problems and what their steps forward are good. Writer from Logan, step in the right direction. $100 million budget. I like that. We're heading in the right direction. Most of these clips are pulled from my Patreon live streams. I do about 6 live streams every single month. For $2 per month, $20 per year, you can get access to all the exclusive videos and live streams. For $5 per month, you get your name on my end card. At the top tier, you get a 30-minute video chat with me each month. The link down below in the description has more information.